Bill here. It's September 6th. Hope you're having a great day. Want to talk about a question that's on everyone's mind sometimes. Which is a better investment, gold or silver? So we're going to touch base on the numbers and then we'll dive right into it. It's been a sale week for the metals. All the metals are off a little bit for this week. But when we look at the one-year numbers, it looks pretty good for the most part, with silver up 30% for a year. That's pretty good. Gold's up 13%, platinum's up a solid 7%, and palladium is the outlier, down 38%. So it's quite a bargain there. But let's talk about gold and silver. That's an interesting question, which one's better, and it depends on our perspective. Now, if we just look at performance numbers, I went to the gold and silver performance charts for the In Gold We Trust chart book that came out in May, and they have looked at these numbers up to March of 2023, all the way back to the year 2000. And if we look at gold's performance, it's averaged 9.3% a year over that time from 2000 to March of 2023. We see silver's averaged 12.3% a year in that same time period. So we have gold at 9.3, silver at 12.3. Another way to say that is over that period of time, silver outperformed gold by an average of by 30% more per year, 32% more per year than gold. But then we have to look at how did it do that? And what's the variance? And one key difference between gold and silver is volatility. And if we look at that 23-year period of time, and we look at gold's best year and its worst year performing year was minus 28%, and its best performing year was right at 31%. Whereas with silver, its worst year was minus 36, and its best year was plus 83. So when you look at the worst for gold and the best for gold, that difference is a span of about 59%. Whereas when we look at the same information for silver at minus 36 and plus 83, that's like 119% or so difference between there. So if you would have missed that plus 83 year, it would have made a huge difference in your average returns. And that's because there's a lot more variance in how silver can perform from year to year than gold. Now, if we look back even further and we go back to 1970, and we go from 1970 to March of 2023, we see gold is averaged right at 10% a year over that 53-year time. There's not a lot of difference between 9.3, which is its 23-year performance, and 10, which is its 53-year average. Not a lot of difference between 9.3 and 10%. But when we look at silver over that same period from 1970 to March of 2023, we're down to about 4.78, just under 5% a year average. Well, that's less than half as well as its 23-year number of 12.3%. So you can see that even over time, there's quite a difference in silver's performance over various periods of time, whereas gold is more of a steady performer. So we're going to look at some other considerations moving forward. We encourage you to stay tuned. Next week we're going to also bring in the gold-silver ratio and how that's a measurement that can help us decide which one might be more opportune to invest in, and why we need to consider both of them actually, maintaining a presence, a position in both. And I'll share more about how I do that and what we do and recommend to our clients as we go forward. So thank you for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing you again soon.